we had a little bit of revenge in the NFL yesterday.
Yeah, we did.
Just a tad bit, huh?
A little statement being made.
Little sweet victory.
All right. What a game. Aaron Rodgers is back. Rolls back into MetLife Stadium. And forget about the after 4 plays injury. How about 4 touchdowns? Rodgers gets it done. The Steelers go in, pick up a big win. And here he was afterwards talking about what the win meant for him in his career.
You spoke about the meeting with Aaron Glenn on McAfee a few months ago. Beating him, is there significance in that, since he basically told you to your face that he didn't think you were right for that team?
Yes, that's what he did.
So there's significance in beating him for you?
I was happy to beat everybody associated with the Jets. It was nice to win, especially, hearing some of the cat calls out there and the boo birds. I'm not sensitive about that. I expected that, I kind of like that, but there were probably people in the organization didn't think I could play anymore. So it was nice to remind those people that I still can.
Come on, VAR. Come on.
I mean, it's the Steelers, so I'm happy. I'm happy it worked out. I'm happy it worked out in the first week of the season. I'm just not convinced. I'm not. There was very little defense that was played in that game. If I'm either one of those teams, more so the Steelers, because, I'd say the Jets, they look like a different team. They look like a pretty good team, different than what they have been. But I just don't – I'm not convinced. If I'm the Steelers, I'm concerned about what that defense looks like. And for some strange reason, the New York Jets, with all that talent that they have, they just don't really play up to the level or the potential of the type of talent that they have. So, to me, listen, I don't want to come off as someone who is down on them. I'm just not a believer in it yet. And I said, I was just in Pittsburgh. I spent a little time in Pittsburgh. People seem to be very high on the team. And the reports from Mike Tomlin, the reports from the local beat reporters, some people I know that are in the media that are local, they're calling this an all-in year. I didn't see it that way, the way the offseason played out. But again, it's week 1. They put up I'd rather them have the performance they did versus it being different. I'd rather them have had an offensive explosion and need to work on the defense. I feel more confident in them shoring up what they have to do and what's going on with their defense versus their offense. So to see him ball out there, to see him go out there and deal and put 4 touchdowns up there and fight through to get them the victory, I mean, good. I'm a Steelers fan, so I'm going to be a hater because that's what we do as Steelers fans. But ultimately, I mean, they got the win, and they got it in a hostile environment, and they got it in week 1, and it's an AFC opponent. So it's good. It's a good victory for them.
I thought he looked great. I thought this was like kind of he downplayed it a bit. I'm sure there's so many things in his mind that are going on where he wanted this one bad. And so I'm always rooting for players when that's the case. If you feel like you've been wronged by an organization, you have the opportunity to go back and stick it right in their face. For the Jets fans and those that are booing and all that stuff, it's like he didn't choose to leave. Like, do we all forget that? He gets hurt after 4 plays his first year there. He chose to come to you guys. And then the second year, your ownership decides to fire the coach prematurely. And it's using Madden ratings to help build a roster. Like, you want to boo him? He came to your new head coach, Aaron Glenn, and your new head coach told him they didn't want him. And you're booing him. How does that make any sense? I mean, I get it. He's on the other team now. There wasn't a choice. He wanted to come back. He flew across the country on his own dime to meet with Aaron Glenn for, 5 minutes? So if you want to boo him, fine. But you got to lay in this bed that you've made for yourself being a Jets fan. So you can try to look at some of the takeaways and sit there and say, well, the offense looked okay. We got some talent on this team. Yeah, you do. But it's going to fall apart at some point.
Oh, damn.
Because this is a bad organization. And what I chalk that performance up to, and give credit to Justin Fields and all that, but there's a lot of firsts with this Jets team. New quarterback in that spot with that talent. We didn't know what it was going to look like if you're Pittsburgh. Different play caller, too, trying to get an understanding of what they're trying to do. So all those things, I think, to me, amounted up to why Pittsburgh, I think, struggled a little bit defensively. But I'm not concerned about them defensively moving forward. They're still one of the better defensive teams. They'll get this corrected. They'll get this turned right back around. I think, if anything, for Steelers fans, you should be excited. You've got a passing game where you have – I don't know when the last time was you saw a game like that where your quarterback threw for 4 touchdown passes, had complete command of the offense, and it just looked how it's supposed to look. I mean, you probably have to go back to Ben Roethlisberger and maybe a few years back – and in his time there as a Steelers quarterback where you felt this confident about the offense. So I'm excited for Aaron Rodgers. I'm excited for the Steelers, even though I grew up not liking the Steelers. But I am a Rodgers fan, so I'm excited for him. And that was a big moment. I don't think his emotions, really told the true story, his words to some degree, but not how much that meant to him.
I mean, that guy across the field told him, nah, we're good here. See ya. Yeah, we're all good here. We're going to go in another direction. He gets his opportunity, and he goes out there and does what he does.
Bowling up early, too, weren't they?
And then to see the way the game was iced with Jalen Ramsey making that hit and knocking the ball out, Boswell, hitting that 60-yarder, which – and look, Justin Fields did look good, but the story of that game was Rodgers going back to MetLife and playing the way he did. He was fantastic, man.
I think that's the story for you and maybe the story for Q. I still think Justin
the rest
Fields.
Of America, but go ahead.
Well, he played well. I think that it was New York versus Pittsburgh, Pittsburgh versus New York.
He's America's quarterback.
I don't think that it was a one-sided deal. I think that the idea that they swapped out quarterbacks was the storyline. I think that was the storyline, and it lived up to what it was. Justin Fields lived up to what the game presented as well. He could have easily came out there and not played well, but he did. He did. I mean, he didn't throw for as many touchdowns, but they were in that game. And keep in mind, if they don't go for 2 points 2 times, that game is tied. So it's not like it was like this big discrepancy in that they came in and they dominated the New York Jets. Game 1 or not, again, I think week 1 is week 1. The same things we could say about what can be done and what can be determined and figured out for one could be the same that you could say for the other.
Sure.
Now, where I will agree is, again, this is the Jets. And I don't know if yet I'm going to give it a fair go because I'm looking at my alma mater team, and they seem to have changed the culture. There seems to have been a culture shift. This seems to be a team that really has the opportunity to be a good team. I would have said that that's impossible because talent will never outplay dysfunction. Now, if Woody is honoring the fact that Aaron Glenn, which it did appear that this is a different type of feel in terms of the personality of that team, they came out there and they looked like a Detroit team. They did. They pounded the ball. Justin Fields had a good feel for when to hand the ball off and when to run the ball. He made some good plays, made some good throws. I did not come away from the game thinking that the New York Jets are a team that's going to, go downhill from here. It looked as though they have a chance to be a pretty decent team.
One concern I think you have to have if you are a Jets fan and you're optimistic is the amount of carries that Fields is going to get throughout the year. Rushing the ball 12 times per game, that's hard. That's a lot of wear and tear on your quarterback. And if that's what you feel like you need to do for him to be effective, so be it. Justin Fields a big, strong, athletic kid, or young man. So, he's going to have every opportunity to be able to do that. But, eventually that injury bug comes. I do want to go back to something in regards to the debut because it is somewhat historic. I don't believe we've ever seen another quarterback in his first game with that team to open a season do what Rodgers did. Throw for 240 yards, 4 touchdowns with 0 interceptions.